What's up, y'all? We're
Hey.
live. And we're actually live from, how's he at? Okay. We're live from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And,
Girl.
well, So how's it going? It's going awesome for us. I have my vacation shirt on because we're actually on vacation. But, you can't miss a live stream.
No, it's still fun, and we want to hang out with y'all.
Yeah. But what you can't see is the Atlantic Ocean is right there. We're on the 9th floor, and we can just see the ocean, and bam, there it is. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. So you all saw the thumbnail. I've been doing some clicking around, looking at guitar stuff because, well, I guess that's what I do. And thinking about, buying another project guitar, talking to some people in the industry lately about the prices of guitars and inflation and stuff. And I got to looking the other day about certain guitars and thinking, why do people think these things are so expensive? Because they're actually, Gibson's cheaper than Fender right now, which is crazy. So we'll get into that. We do have some questions from Patreon that I want to get to first.
Okay.
But I've got visual aids and screen sharing and the whole deal. I had to block somebody and ban them from the channel today, but that happens every once in a while because he's being really nasty. And then there are some people who did not like the fact that I showed some sense of humor with my lab coat.
Oh, I saw your reshare.
And making up words and just being myself,
He always makes up words, y'all. Just
Yeah.
saying.
So, if
See,
you
I got to add.
Yeah, I don't know why you're getting an ad during the live. That's really weird. We'll take it. I'm just kidding. Yeah, that's really odd. Anyway, so let's get into. Oh, so anyway, we're on the road, so that also means that our lighting is not normal and super sexy like it usually is. So
Super
as it gets
sexy.
dark outside, you're just gonna kind of have to deal with.
We're just gonna fade out.
Well, we've got lights here, but we'll just see how it goes.
We'll just fade out.
Let's do some Patreon questions
Dramatic
first.
fade.
Cool. Actually, before we get to the first Patreon question, I want you to get in the comments and tell me what your latest guitar gear purchase is. And do you have one that you've put off? Because the price went up or something. Because prices are going up on everything right now. Is there something that you wanted to get, but now you're going to get a used one instead of a new one? That you've had to kind of make a different decision on. Let me know in the comments because that's something that I'm curious about as we talk about this, and talk about options for really good mid-price guitars. So we'll talk about that in a few minutes. Okay, Patreon questions.
Nick, to a complete lay person such as myself, the Jazzmaster pickups and P90s look very similar on the outside. How do they compare internally and aurally sonically? I'm not sure which is the correct phrase.
So that is a great question because people speak of them interchangeably and they are nowhere near the same. A Jazzmaster pickup is basically a flat Strat pickup. It has the same kind of magnets, same size magnets, but they're shorter. And it basically takes the coil with almost the same amount of winds and everything and just squishes it flat. So where a Strat pickup would be half an inch tall, we'll just say, a Jazzmaster pickup is only an eighth of an inch tall, and it's squished. That makes the windings go way out, flat and wide. A P90 pickup is a quarter of an inch tall coil, and it has bar magnets, 2 bar magnets on it, like a humbucker bar magnets on the bottom. 10,000 winds of 42. It is constructed with a bunch of parts like a humbucker, whereas a Jazzmaster is basically a squished Strat pickup. That's really and sonically, P90s are hotter than most like PAF style humbuckers. They are, well, they're just hotter. They're more. The Jazzmaster is going to be pretty bright and jangly, but they sound great. Yeah, cool. We have a video about that.
Do you want to go ahead and
yeah,
hear what people are buying or have
yeah. Let's do a few of those
before we get disconnected from that question. Yes. So Scott Kilpatrick says, I wanted to get a Les Paul Custom, but the market is down so bad I probably won't. Should I just paint a standard black and swap pickups?
We will talk about exactly your conundrum in a few minutes. Yes, we will talk about that. Okay, let's go.
Fat Philosopher says, I can't get an Ibanez JIVA lefty because Ibanez won't sell lefties to Japanese dealers. Schecter and ESP also do this. Grr.
Oh, man, I feel for lefty people. Because I'm left-handed, but I basically do everything right-handed except for right. Except for, actually, Escribe. And I feel for you. I really do.
Kenneth Crickmore, I have to buy used and cheap since I'm on a fixed income since he's retired. It's fair.
Get that? Yep. I get that.
Adam Knox, I bought a used DOD bone shaker. I've been putting off everything because of a lack of money.
Got it. I mean, yeah, we're feeling it. I'll tell you some stuff that I heard the other day once we get through this.
Charles Wallace says, I'm 3 guitars behind my pickup buying. I just have to find what I want.
Oh, he buys pickups for upcoming projects from us a lot of times, and then doesn't have a place to put it yet.
That's awesome. Dave the Pious says, next week I'm getting an SVT Classic.
Ooh, right on.
Chuck C says, Music Man John Myung.
Oh, John Myung. Yep, signature bass. Ooh, that's sick, dude.
Johnny Appalachia. One of my guitar friends finally decided at age 60 to get a long-wanted Martin. $3,000. Day after he bought it, Martin's prices went up $200.
Yes. I'm going to tell you next week a story very similar. I don't want to get into the details now because I don't want to ruin the surprise. But I have a guitar coming, and it did the very same thing. And we'll talk about that next. Well, in the video. Yes, same situation.
Few more. Cool. John Own 11 can't play any Roddy. A PRS S2 McCarty 594. Several on reverb. Love to buy one. Waiting to see how crushed I will be by the economy.
I feel you.
Doc said his latest purchase is a baritone neck from Warmouth for the November Fabric Top class and a super secret. And a super secret squirrel project and some yellow paint.
Nice. Baritone in November. I'm going to be there for that.
Kevin Berg says, how the hell are your captions so perfect while you're live? Apparently we enunciate well. I didn't even know. I can't see our live captions.
Yeah, and she's from the South. Even though somebody from the South the other day.
Maybe mine's not good. You're doing most of the talking.
That's true.
All right.
Talk more.
Just got a D'Angelico Primer Bedford SH Black Flake with a gear bag on the 4th for 40% off of $8.99 to $4.99. I wanted it for a while and got it for a great price being patient.
Dude.
That's I hadn't said. I'm sorry. Cool. I think
we're more or less caught up on those.
Yep. And
hey, Jeff McRickard. If you have questions, put question marks in front of them so she can find them later.
Yeah.
Also, use super chats because that's faster.
All right. We're going to get back to the Patreon questions.
Yes.
Zoltan, the stock trim bars on Squire Strats are often very wobbly in their threads. That makes them pretty useless for real life playing. Do you have any life hack to stiffen them up other than replacing the trim block?
If you are in Forinia, like foreign country somewhere.
Did you just make that word up?
I did. He's in Europe.
Unacceptable.
So on Amazon here in the US of A's, we have these little springs you can buy for, they're like $5 for like 3 of them because you lose them. And American Standard Strats come with this little spring. You drop it in the hole, and then when you thread the thing in there, it like puts tension on the threads and it holds it straight. So you might be able to, at a hardware store or something, find a spring that just drops in there. It's pretty stiff. It's not like a pen. Like a pen spring's not stiff enough, so it's got to be stiffer than that. But, you know, something that fits in there to take up the slack. I do know people put tape on them and stuff. I don't like doing that because I don't want to mess up the threads because they're not very good. So I would say use a pen spring. Use a spring like a pen spring that's stiffer.
Cool.
Yep.
Shane, who is a guitarist whose tone impresses you the most, either because it's hard to duplicate or is just so incredibly unique or iconic?
I don't know that I care so much about like iconic guitar tone. Like Jimmy Page does nothing for me. You know, like there's a lot of guitar players like that. I saw Misha Mansour posted today. He's like, what's the song that you pick when you're listening to like new speakers or a new sound system in your car or, you know, that kind of stuff. And it got me thinking about this, even though I hadn't seen this question. One of my favorite guitars. So I like very unique sounds. I like guitar players that make sounds with their guitar. I'm a super big fan of Jack White because I like how he makes noise and he turns it into music. I think it's really cool. I always talk about 12-Foot Ninja. One of my biggest favorite guitar tones and mixes of all time is pretty much the entire record of Extreme. 3 sides to every, not Pornograffiti, but 3 sides to every story. That record, to me, Nuno Betancourt's guitar tone, and I don't care about that guitar. I don't care about playing that kind of music myself. When I hear that, I'm just like, this is good. And I think it's mostly the mix, like the studio work, but it just makes him sound so good. And that's the song when I saw Misha Mansour's post, and then thinking about it now, that record is probably
what comes to mind.
Yes. Three sides to every story, Extreme. That would be it's I know it's off the beaten path, but yeah, for sure. That's a cool question to think about.
That was it?
Yeah.
Just had a few?
That was it.
Cool. We do have some other questions that came in, unless you're
Okay, cool.
going to talk about your topic first?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's talk about the topic because there's 3 down thumbs, and they're probably like, why isn't he talking about the topic? I'm like, haven't you ever seen 60 Minutes? Come on now.
It's the last story.
It's the last story.
Oh, and we are the, what do you call like the pickup guy? Like
Super
in
chat.
the baseball?
Closer?
Yeah.
We are the closer.
The primetime guitar.
Yeah.
Anyway, random. Super chat from Paul McNary. Thank you for the super chat, Paul. He said, for you guys being so awesome.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Appreciate that a lot.
And we've met Paul, and he's pretty awesome.
And he's pretty awesome too. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's talk about guitars. Because we constantly hear like Gibsons are so expensive, blah, 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 blah. And I got to looking today. I'm going to show you something.
Uh-oh. We're screen sharing and
We're
everything?
screen sharing and everything. This little dude right here.
Getting serious up in here.
This is the Les Paul Tribute. Now, I put links to all this in the description. I actually prepared ahead of time for this because this is really important to me. People complain about the prices of guitars, but this is an American-made, okay, actual Gibson that you can break the peg head off of and everything. I mean, this is real. Sunburst finish, okay? It's not shiny, but we'll get to that in a minute. For $1,200, $99. The reason I think this is key is because this is an affordable guitar, relatively mid-priced, affordable guitar made in the United States that is good. And the only reason people don't buy it is because it's quote-unquote not a real Gibson. But really that just comes down to the vanity of, do you really need shiny stuff and do you need binding? You have to pay extra for that. Okay. The reason I bring this up is, if you look over here at this Telecaster, this currently is the cheapest American Telecaster.
Mm.
It's more than a Gibson Les Paul. More. And the reason this one's cheap is because I don't think people like the color. If you click over here, okay, maybe they are all the same price. I thought for some reason that one. Okay, so it isn't. They're all $16.99. This is a fantastic guitar. To me, this is the best Telecaster out right now. As far as the American stuff goes, this is the best Tele. This, what is this thing called? The American Professional 2. This is a really, really, really good guitar. But it's expensive. It's more than a Les Paul. So let's look at a couple other. Oh, so let's say you want shiny. Let's say you have a desire for a Les Paul custom.
They can already see you doing that. You might as well click it.
Okay. Bam. A Les Paul Studio in black, and swap out the hardware. You go to DylanTalksTone.com right now and order gold humbuckers for it and grab some gold hardware, and you have more or less a custom without binding, without binding. But this is a really good guitar. Put some different knobs on it, and for under $2,000, you would have everything you want. Only the pickups would be better.
They have demo models too.
Yeah, you've seen demo models. We've been to Sweetwater and watched people demo guitars. I don't know that I would buy a demo guitar, but not in black anyway. But
yeah, but if you have a good relationship with your person, right?
Yes,
Can't you
that's
talk
true.
to them about it?
That's true.
Be like, tell me what's wrong with it.
Yeah, you are right. Again, this is just not necessarily anything but the vanity of the binding. I'm going to swap out pickups on anything I buy most of the time anyhow. So I'm going to put DAFs in this guitar. You probably will too. There's no reason to not buy this guitar. Let me show you another one. $12.99 for, what is this thing called? This is the,
Keep going up.
Yeah, this is the SG Standard Tribute. So it has dots instead of the big inlays. And the pickups are a little different, but again, I think you just put DAFs in it anyway. Or you go to Jimmy at Jersey Shore Guitar Garage and you get his SG drop-in thing with the push-pulls, and you throw center punches in it, and the thing just rips for $12.99. This guitar is cheaper than my SG Junior. This is $100 cheaper than my SG Junior with one P90 in it. This stuff is reasonable. Now, you're going to say, oh, and then let me show you another thing that I think is, before we talk about all that, here's the Strat. $16.99. So Fenders, for an American-made guitar, are more expensive than Gibson. That's insane. That is insane to me. I don't get that. I don't. Oh yeah, and then we have to go here and turn us back.
Cool.
So I just think that it takes some looking and some consideration and realizing that the stuff is out there. Oh, super chat.
Super chat from Dave the Pious. Thank you for the super chat. He says Gibson prices on most haven't gone up exponentially like Fender. They aren't much more expensive on average than they were 20 years ago.
No, and you're right. When you look at inflation, I mean, a 59 Les Paul was like $232, which equates to like $2,600 today. I think they're $2,700 now. Super chat.
Another super chat from Van Shank Guitars. Thank you for the super chat. He says demo guitars come pre-relict. LOL.
That's probably true. You're probably not lying there. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. I just think that looking at this stuff a little more objectively in a time when we are all like, man, I really want a new guitar. I really want a new Les Paul. I really want a new Les Paul. I want a gold top. I want a gold top. But I'm just like, $2,700 is a lot of money. What could I get instead? And I've had one of those not glossy ones, and they're fantastic. The guitar is really good. So I just think it's really interesting that when you look at modding guitars, having fun with them, doing what you're going to do anyway, but still getting an American-made guitar, these options are there. And if you were to go through some, these are obviously the brands I'm mostly familiar with. But I bet Fat Philosopher, for example, probably knows of ESPs and Jacksons and some other brands that have pretty reasonably priced guitars that are really good too.
Well, he was like, do you need an American-made Fender? Get a Japanese one.
Well, see, I would get a Japanese one, but I don't. Well, he would probably get it for me, but we can't get them, so most of the time. So yeah, no, I 100% agree. The Japanese stuff is really good. I don't necessarily need an American-made guitar. I buy all kinds of stuff, as you are well aware. But for those that's important to, and because you want to have a Gibson, like some people really want to have a Gibson. I wanted to. I've never owned an actual Gibson before, so I bought one this year. I don't know last year. I don't know that I've ever owned. Have we ever bought an American Fender for the channel? I don't think we have. I don't think I've ever owned an American Fender either. Because we bought all kinds of stuff for the channel. But I don't think I've ever. The only American guitars I've ever bought for the channel or for myself is the McPherson, the Breedlove, 2 Gibsons now, and the PRS. Yeah. Super chat.
Super chat from Jim
Woodard.
I cannot talk. Jim Woodard, thank you for the super chat. He said, I've got 2 gold tops.
This is the guy who has the cool podcast and a Gibson tattoo right here where I have mine.
Huh.
Yeah, he likes them Gibsons. I do too.
That is very hick sounding. He likes them Gibsons.
He does. Yeah.
All right.
So there you go. I just think it's a really neat thing to think about. And I think we want to jump to everything's so expensive and guitar companies are charging way too much.
We got a super chat from Sean McMillan. Thanks for the super chat, Sean. He said, I have put Dylan's pickups in several used guitars and it totally changes the guitar's dynamic. By the way, Dylan, have you researched the P90 pickup select conundrum I have?
Yes, I have, and I have no direct answer for you. I will send you an email.
Conundrum. That's a cool word.
Oh, the one thing I wanted to announce, there's a couple things I want to talk about. Speaking of inflation, I was listening to Chasing Tone Today podcast. Brian Wampler. He was talking about how the new Strymon pedals just came out. And they're pushing $500 now for a Strymon. And he was saying, guitar pedals are just gonna have to get more expensive for pedal companies to stay in business. Chase Bliss got around that by cutting out dealers and going totally direct. We have never had dealers. This is part of the reason, so that we can stay profitable enough to keep going and not have to raise prices, because we haven't really had to raise prices.
I love that you dramatically paused now. Dave the Pious, thank you for the super chat, Dave. He says, living in Waukesha, Wisconsin, I felt obligated to get a Les Paul.
That would make sense because there's all that Les Paul museum-y stuff there. Yeah.
Museum-y.
Well, yeah. So one of the things I want to mention to y'all tonight is that I don't know if you guys realize this or not, but if you become a Patreon member, it's $5. You automatically get a discount to everything we make on Dylan Talks Tone. And it's 10%.
Mm-hmm.
So as it stands right now, it would save you to sign up for Patreon like $26 on a set of humbuckers. I have had people sign up for a couple of months, buy some stuff, take advantage of the discount, then stop.
Yeah, you're not locked into anything.
Nope.
It's month to month.
Doesn't offend me at all. I want you to see what's over there, and I want you to know what we've got over there because it's fun. But don't stress about it. Like, don't, but I will tell you, you get the discount. I'll give you a code as soon as you sign up. So if you're going to order something, sign up over there first.
Yeah.
Little inflation fighting.
Thank you for the super chat. John Own 11 can't play any Roddy. He says, what is so different about a Les Paul neck? I like wide, fat necks. Love my PRS SE 245. Went to buy a Les Paul. Picked up a dozen. Just didn't love the necks. Why?
It depends because the Slim 60s are really slim. That's why they call them Slim 60s. 50s tapers necks. Like the 50s original Epiphone Les Paul for in the 849 area. And then like a gold top, any of that 50s stuff, you have to go by the decade. So 60s, and actually if Jim Woodard is in, he is in the comments, and he's probably going to help you with this more than me because he knows way more about this than I do. But you kind of have to go by the era of guitar to get the neck profile that's closest to what you would want. But that is also not saying that even that would mean that you would love it. You don't have to love a guitar just because everybody else does. So
you also didn't really connect with them for a long time.
No, I haven't owned one, so I really want one to spend some time with it. My Silver Sky, I got it in the mail and I was like, this neck is huge. I hate this neck. Now it's right here. I love it. It's one of my favorite guitars ever. So it just takes some time. I would also say that, like, play it for a while.
All right. We got a super chat from Rick Bonneville. Thank you for the super chat. He didn't list a question there, but he did already send in a question. So let's just skip and grab that really quick.
Sure.
It said, thanks. Because he was going to hold his question. I was like, I'll grab it, send it. So thank you for the additional super chat. He said, thanks. Thanks. Your two best single coil Strat neck and middle to complement a Sustainiac.
Ooh. I would say our hot 5 to complement a Sustainiac. But what I would do, Rick, is shoot me an email, like the contact us thing, and then go order the pickups, and then I will make it. We will make you something. That's easy. We can wind something that will work. That's not necessarily on the website. I won't charge you extra for it or anything. But let's talk about it. Order it and get in the queue, and then send me an email, and then we'll work it out. I can make something. For you. I have an idea.
Cool. Another super chat. Super chat from Patrick Henderson. Thank you for the super chat, Patrick. He says, I have a single Strat, and I want to put a JB Junior in the bridge. Will I need a 500K pot?
I would put a 500K volume pot in it if it was mine. Especially with a JB, because it can be a little flat on top. Yep.
Rick said his is going in an insane Strat.
Nice.
You have to bleed as well. I don't know. Maybe he's helping Patrick. I don't know. Cool. What do you have? Were you in the middle of talking about something?
No, that's
do
it.
you
I
want
was
some
wondering
more
if we had any
questions?
more questions.
We do.
Awesome.
Charles Wallace, will your Strat pickups fit in a G&L pick guard? Would like to replace my MFD pickups. Thanks.
Yes. Yes. I was thinking MFD, like the fat P90 looking ones, but you're talking about the MFD Strat ones. Yeah, they should drop right in.
Ed Kress, I pretty got all the popular, maybe I pretty much got all the popular guitars, so I had to think outside of the box, and I'm waiting for my Gretsch resonator. We'll get it tomorrow. Any experience with a resonator?
You're way out of my league on that one, man. I love them, and I think they're so cool, and I don't know. Man, you're way out of my department on that one. I think they're neat, though. I would own one and try to play it, but I don't know anything.
That's really cool.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Windsurf Maui